well as foods that offered variety of additional nutrients, including banana, sugarcane, coconut, candlenut, arrowroot, and tea. About 300 varieties of taro are known to have existed in Hawaii. Early natives used the entire taro plant. The leaves were steamed alone or used to wrap potatoes or fish for steaming. The root was steamed in an imo, so underground pit, and then peeled and pounded in a stiff paste, handy for traveling when wrapped in pandanus leaves. Adding water, so that's like the Puerto Rican panadillas or pateles, or the Mexican tamales. Same shit. Adding water to this paste produced poi, for a starchy, thick paste, sometimes allowed to ferment. So, the thing that was so wild about this thing is that this poi, this taro, once you pounded the taro down, and it was in a consistency called poi, which was like a pasty substance. It was pretty much, it could last for months and months and months and months without going bad. So I mean, the taste would change. So when it fermented, you would eat it and have a little sour taste to it, but it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't hurt you. It will really enrich your body and it will keep you alive. And this is what Hawaiians used when they went on their sea voyages. With this thick paste, this root, they were able to go on long journeys and not die if they weren't able to catch fish or find land. Yeah. Okay, right. The entire coconut was used as well. Unripe coconuts provided nourishing liquid for the journeys when no fresh water was available. The flesh, so they use the coconut water, which is very nourishing for your body, and the poi to survive. This is like what we think, like manna, the manna that God gave the Israelites, the bread. That's exactly what it is. They make a bread out of it. Like, it's not really bread, but it's like a bread. But they can't make bread out of it, but they make a thing, kulolo. They make this thing right here called kulolo. It kind of like what manna would be like. I think. If we can get a picture of it, 'cause you know how when I got that article up, you know how they treat me. Alright, so this is it, kulolo. And this is what they make out of the poi. This is one of the varieties. See how it looks like a bread? See how they cut it? Cut it like a bread. Super good. So good. My kids love it. And it comes from, like, see, this is what it looks like. It's a root. And you mash it. Take off all this. This is all starters. You're trying to start off. Peel them off. You can replant some of them. Depend if you get one like this one. Peel them off, replant them. I used to grow a lot of taro, but I live in an apartment now, so right there. That's what it looks like. It's really, really good. Kulolo. Alright, so that's what's up. So let's go back. The flesh of the mature nut was grated and pressed to produce a cream. Pudding was made by mixing this cream with arrowroot. The husks were halved when the mature coconut was harvested, and when empty, were used as drinking or baking cups. The fibers on the outside of the husk were pounded and then woven into rope. The leaves of the plant were sometimes used for thatching houses. You understand how efficient Hawaiians were. That's why I'm saying, like, the thing about Hawaiians was kept a lot of their culture to more just recently, and a lot of their culture is your culture, because they're a Negro race. We've just been amalgamated, so there's very little of the Negro. It's like 10%, 15%, maybe less. Alright. In addition to attracting laborers from China, Japan, and elsewhere, sugar production has been a major source of employment for native Hawaiians. In 1873, for instance, more than half of the native male populations was engaged in cultivating sugar. Women were employed stripping, grinding, and boiling cane, and were paid half the wages of male natives. So first of all, the male natives were paid half of what they paid everybody else. Then the women natives, the women Hawaiians, were paid half of that. Okay? Yeah, let's see this. Fish has traditionally supplied most of the protein in the Hawaiian diet. So if we ate meat, it was fish. We really didn't eat meat. Our meat was fish if we ate meat. Because it is a crucial and highly developed trade. Early Hawaiian fishermen were often accompanied by an individual responsible for actually finding the fish watchman. This skill involved understanding the sea floor, both inside and outside of the reef, the shape of the reef, including where the fish like to hide, and what kind of net, hook, and bait were appropriate for each fish. Various traps were also devised for catching fish and other marine animals that lived in streams. Not everyone was allowed to eat every species of fish. Certain fishes were for special events, and then only for royalty. Also, some fish were better for women, some fish were better for men, so they had these different food laws. Priests were consulted every step of the way when it came to consumption of various food. Just like in Israel, you had to consult the priests and find out if it was according to the law, statutes, and commandments. Rarely did women consume fish, so women didn't consume fish. See, but they were permitted shrimp and other shellfish. See, that's a perversion right there. I bet you before the 1200s they never ate shellfish. They never ate, and it was probably the opposite. They didn't eat this, and they ate this. Because what the Bible says we can eat fish that have tails and have fins and scales. Not to eat the shrimp and shellfish, because the shrimp and shellfish have jobs. Their jobs is to clean the environment and make sure that the environment is working, everything is running well. When we kill these things do not do their jobs. There's an imbalance in the system. Nautical culture. This is the next one now. We're in next. This is video 3. Very use, man. Nautical culture is an important aspect of early Hawaiian life. There were freshwater ponds and shore ponds. The shore ponds were enclosures built of stone that encompassed both shallow and deep waters. So they had deep water fish ponds as well. Some ponds were as large as 60 acres. You understand that 60 acres. Do you know how big 60 acres are? Let's go. Let's put it up. How big is 60 acres? 60 acres. 2 miles. Right now. How many miles are in 30 acres? Come on. So it's roughly about a half a mile times a half a mile. That's what this is saying.